For the first time tonight, we are hearing from one of the jurors who helped convict Grant Hayes of murder. He takes us inside the jury room to share the emotion, the conversations, and how they came to a conclusion that sent Hayes to prison for life.
Laura Atkinson against Grant R. Hayes.
It was a trial that captured the attention of people across the country. Grant Hayes and his wife, Amanda, accused of luring his ex-girlfriend Laura Ackerson to their Raleigh apartment during a long-running custody dispute, strangling her, cutting up her body, and dumping the parts in a Texas creek.
It was disturbing.
After 3 weeks of graphic testimony,
this saw cut someone in half.
Juror Kenan Briggs says convicting Grant Hayes was a relief.
You would like to believe that humans don't do that to other people, but clearly they do.
4 men and 8 women heard from nearly 50 witnesses and saw more than 500 pieces of evidence. Prosecutors revealed a Walmart video of Grant Hayes buying a reciprocating saw in the middle of the night. They also showed jurors the coolers Ackerson's body parts were transferred in. But what really stuck with them was a hate song Grant Hayes wrote about Ackerson called Broomstick Rider.
There were just too many parallels in that song to discount it and say just an expression of his artistic creativity.
Briggs says other key elements during the trial made things more difficult for the defendant's case, including Ackerson's autopsy,
intense rage toward,
and a psychiatric evaluation of Grant Hayes.
And I think that psychiatrist's evaluation revealed some very dark sides of the defendant. Very dark sides, some anger.
Prosecutors also called on Amanda Hayes' adult daughter from a previous marriage, Shay Gadot. She testified about a strong smell of bleach in the couple's apartment and that her mother asked to borrow a vacuum cleaner because hers was broken.
I walked into the apartment, looked around. The apartment smelled like bleach.
The defense claimed Amanda Hayes committed the murder and Grant only helped cover it up. The bombshell came when Amanda's sister testified against her.
She told me that she had hurt Laura and that she had hurt her bad.
But attorney Carl Knudsen says the defense had a tough hand to play from the beginning, and the prosecution ultimately succeeded in portraying Grant Hayes as the prime suspect.
He had proximity and he had motive, and then they just homed in on him.
Guilty of murder in the first degree.
When it was all said and done, it took jurors just 90 minutes to decide his fate.
I think the first thing that we all sort of agreed upon was this was not a case of the defendant being not guilty.
Jurors did have some reservations.
I think there was some feeling, a borderline between first degree and second degree among a couple of the jurors.
But after weighing all the evidence, Briggs and the other jurors unanimously agreed to convict Hayes on first-degree murder, a decision that puts him at peace.
Is Grant Hayes a murderer?
Yes. Yes, and I said that out loud in the jury room. I said, I have to live with this decision for the rest of my life.
And Kenan Briggs says while he was satisfied with the jury's decision, he left the trial with a sense of sadness for the families and the children of Grant Hayes and Laura Ackerson. Grant Hayes was sentenced to life in prison without parole. His attorneys plan to appeal. Meantime, his wife, Amanda Hayes, stands trial next year. We reached out to her daughter, Shay Gadot, but she told us she's been advised not to speak until after her mother's trial, saying, "I have to protect my family and myself."